Stock market update, 21st of April. Let's look at the data on how the stock market is doing this particular week and for the week ahead, what the outlook is and whether I've bought and sold any stocks. These are valuations, price earnings ratios, in other words, the share price relative to the profits of the companies. And energy looks cheap because they're trading at a share price of about 8 to 9 as a multiple of profits. So you're not paying too much per unit of profit in the share price, and same with the banks. Obviously, everything else expensive. How was the week for the markets? Well, most of the market rose, particularly the banks. They rose, and given that that's backed also by undervaluation, that's good. Everything else which has been rising, and energy, by the way, undervalued but didn't, everything else that's been rising must be doing it on factors other than valuation. Another measure of valuation is price earnings growth, or the share price relative to the growth in profits. And as you can see, nothing there. There's just basically nothing's undervalued. And that's one of the reasons why you've heard more and more negative comments about the markets, and that this rise of 18.7% so far in the NASDAQ this year is a trap and the markets will fall. You've also got a rise there in the US markets, UK markets of nearly 10%. And of course, the S&P 500 is up 7.5%, very positive indeed. So let's take a bit of a drill down into that. The S&P 500 has broken out of that downward trend, as I've mentioned a long time ago, and we seem to be still on that upward trajectory. The monthly and weekly momentum indicators are still going in the right direction. Doesn't mean it can't fall. I did say last week it would have a negative week this week, and it looks like it's going that way. The FTSE 100, it's looking a bit overbought and toppy, so I'm a little bit concerned that whilst it's near all-time highs, but how sustainable that is in the near term. Apple, I bought more of, as you know, last week. The momentum indicator on the monthly and the weekly rising well. It's within this channel, and it'll stay within that channel for the foreseeable future, and therefore you've got some very good upside. Even were it to fall to the bottom of that channel, the channel itself is moving upwards, so all good news. Alphabet broken out of that downward trend, and again it's formed a base on the monthly and weekly momentum indicators. Now, that can happen and the price can plummet. That's the lower probability trade. Microsoft, as you know, I bought more of that as well, and it's just moving sideways now, consolidating after some of those large rises, and I've projected some directions for that on the market as well. So it gives you a better idea of where I see things going. By the way, during all of this, don't forget to like and follow me on alpeshpatel.com/links for all the free books and education that I give on there as well, including everything from internships to free programs on how to invest better. Okay, so let's just go back to these charts. Like I said, we've marked it there, and that's the direction I'm looking at for that to go in. Amazon, well, again, it's fallen out of this downward trend. It's been going on this upward move. This was the sort of period of indeterminacy, you might say, or the period of, well, what's going to actually happen? And it's got a base. It's going to go that way. This is already going that way. And if you look at the more sensitive stochastic indicators, they're already pointing in that direction. So my projections are over here, and those are the returns. And as you know, I've bought more of that. Disney has got a base here. That's the direction I projected earlier, and don't see much reason to change that view at the moment, but we shall see. That's obviously more risky than some of the tech stocks, but it's a good diversifier against tech alone. Nvidia has done far better than I thought, so that downward trend had ended. This is the point of purchase. If you look at my Telegram channel, you'll see that that's what had happened in January. That's where you'll find it on alpeshpatel.com/links, and you will note that I projected this, well, this upward move here. Well, I was wrong because actually it went up a lot quicker than I thought. So sue me, I made you more money sooner than I thought I would. Tesla has fallen after earnings over there. Is that something to be worried about? Now, this is where the warning comes in with what could happen in other markets, because rather like Tesla, quite a few of the other stocks are also just forming this base, as you can see, on the momentum. And then if their earnings don't come through, or they don't meet the expectations as expected, then these rises could well evaporate. That's the argument. Now, it's still on that upward move there, the trajectory, but keep an eye out for that. If this actually continues and ends up being a hard, bad news story and continues falling, then that may well be advance warning of what's going to happen with other stocks, which up till now have done well, such as Nvidia or Amazon or Alphabet or Microsoft, which is that they just take a bit of a hit and they go back to where they were at the start of the year. That's the less likely scenario, but could well happen. If you look at Meta, nice upward trajectory, upward trajectory. I said it would do this. I was wrong. It's been a V-shaped move, so it's made more sooner than I thought it would. It's doing well though, and that's the direction. You just want to keep an eye on that monthly MACD. Just make sure it's going that way. Keep an eye on the weekly one. Make sure it's going in that direction. If it stops doing that, then be worried. This can be an early warning, but often false alarm, which is the weekly stochastic. You really want to see these moving upwards. When that doesn't happen, you decide if you're risk averse, you get the hell out of there. Like I said, don't forget to have a look at the campaign for 1 million. Have a look for all those links as well. I will see you soon, probably on Telegram with my daily updates, and on YouTube as well for more detailed videos. Thank you very much.